Morning tubers, welcome back for another adventure. And today we're looking at the TaoTao ATA, and it says it's a 200D. I think it's the same as the Rhino 250. That's the tag that's on it. Anyway, you guys know I bought this. This was the nighttime delivery where I thought I was going to be rolled. Front to back, came with that front bumper that doesn't seem to fit. So that's first of all. Secondly, I don't know, I do have front suspension, and I have back suspension. You guys could see it's a little crispy back here, and it looks like they over tightened the chain. And I can tell that for two reasons. First of all, it's not rolling well. Yeah, that chain is too tight. The back bearings look okay, so I have no clue why they over tighten that chain. It also looks like it's tracking straight, so that is a little odd. You can see the tail lights there, the exhaust system is there. The back rack is there, though it's a bit cattywampus. I'm not sure why there's tape on this. I guess it was leaking, or the reflector had a tendency to fall off. This one came with the shift lever, so the shift lever's intact. It did come with the carburetor, PZ27. I don't like cabled style carburetors, so I'll probably either convert that one or put another PZ27 that has the manual choke. Steering feels pretty good. A lot of times you could get an idea how much wear is on them by what the grips look like and what the tires look like and what the shifter looks like. And this thing really doesn't appear to be bent and battered. Looking at the frame, though, there's some rust on it. I'm not seeing any huge stress at the joints. Normally when there's a lot of stress at the joints, you see more paint cracking away from them. And I really don't see that anywhere. Once again, the frame looks solid. All that looks good. Given the really crazy rusty frame, I didn't even smell the gas on this yet. I have the feeling this thing sat around, perhaps, yeah, I think that's seized. So I think this thing sat around until it wouldn't start, and from there it ended up going up for adoption. I think originally the guy I got it from Craigslist. There was a yellow one of these on for less money than I paid for this one. That looked really ugly, and now I see a yellow one that's been painted black at my house. So I have the feeling it was that one originally. I think he bought it and flipped it quick just to make a few bucks. From a wiring point of view, I'm not seeing anything really horrible here. Right, that's lights. I'm not really seeing anything torn up that bad. There you go. It's important to do surface prep. The key switch is hollowed out. I'm told that it's just stuck in the on position. I have the feeling he got it to that point and didn't find the spark and let it go because of that. Look at this. Came with spare parts. We got rusty light bulbs. Those go in the front lights. There's some screws in here. Probably things that bite too. You're looking at the carburetor intake. The intakes are about 10 bucks, a little less than that. So it obviously needs one of those. he got goop on the inside of the intake. I'm hoping if the block is cracked, it's a loser, right? I lost. And the reason why I say that is these engines, I don't see a lot of parts available for them. Maybe if I looked harder, you know, Scooter something, or Buggies Unlimited or something like that, maybe I'd find the parts. The way they took the carburetor off, it looks like they did plan on putting it back on. And it looks like they included a free, that looks like a Harbor Freight, doesn't it? The new style. Looks like they threw in a free screwdriver. The air cleaner looks like it's just a matter of clamping it back on, so that's all good. So if I was buying this just as a frame, it looks like I got just a frame, and we could do something really crazy like put the Ninja motor on this. Though probably if you know, throw a few RPM into it and dump the clutch, you'll break the frame in half. What I'm going to do now, and this really is the, am I going to win on this or completely lose on this? I'm going to take that plate off. We're going to try to give the motor a spin over and see what it feels like. Okay, to determine if the engine's seized or not, I personally do not recommend energizing the starter until you make sure, because you don't want to tear up the starter and gears, brake chains, and so forth like that. So you just loosen these guys up, and on the other side of this cover, what you'll find is a 14mm bolt that's on your crank, and you just try to give that a little bit of a turnover, and that'll tell you if you're seized. Okay, let's give this thing a quick oil check. Yeah, it's got some Texas crude in it, but I've seen them a lot worse. It appears to be full, and from the smell of it and the looks of it, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the oil it came with. All right, now for the moment of truth. Right, we'll turn over, and you got that, it's in gear. It's creeping along as I'm turning it. Let me know when you guys think it turned twice. That's a compression stroke, so it seems to have compression. Well, or I'm up against something. Anyway, it does seem to turn over, and if you squeeze the clutch, right, I don't know, could you guys see that little lever there? Right, the exhaust system looks to be intact. Right, given that it's got oil in it, it doesn't have a hole punched into the bottom of the engine where all the oil would have spilled out. So, all in all, for $50, it appears as if this all-terrain vehicle would have been a pretty decent deal. It's got a lot of potential. We don't know if it's going to work its way up to what I'm going to have invested in, but for 50, you know, this is a rock solid $50 all-terrain vehicle at this point. All four tires seem to hold there. The suspension's halfway decent. Shocks, frame straight. The seat's there. The plastic appears to be there. They gave me that bumper that doesn't fit, but it's not that big a deal to fabricate something or alter that one so that it does fit, or quite honestly run it without. Perhaps put something on the front of it with a set of LED lights in it, something along those lines. Anyway, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of opinions about this when I bring the China stuff home. Some people love them, some people hate them. You know, I like working on them because generally speaking, they're easy, they're light, right? Not hard to pick up, not hard to move around. Generally easy to fix. Normally it's the same old few things. So, do I like them? I like them well enough. Given a choice, I keep buying Hondas, but you know, that 200S you're looking at right now around me, even though it's not the prettiest thing, that'd be about an $800 three-wheeler. And that's just, which means for junk, people are trying to get 5. And, you know, that's a lot of money to pay for these, especially when I was buying these for 20 bucks years ago, right? And you can see I bought as many as I could, and I locked them all away. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody who expresses a concern for my mental health. That's always nice. I want to thank folks who give me encouragement, especially my buddy who likes to redo XRs, right? Rusty restorations. So anyway, I want to thank once again everybody for watching, commenting, subscribing. Remember, feet down, heads up. And with this virus going around, make sure you guys take care of yourselves, huh? Nobody needs to catch it, and nobody needs to give it to grandma. Bye now.